Hello, everyone. My name's Aaron Crawford, and I'm from Holland America. I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight.
Sorry, Aaron. I was waiting for it to go live and I didn't realize it had already gone live. My apologies. Hello, everybody. I'm Teena Dowd, owner of Vacations for Canadians, and we are here tonight with Aaron Crawford, our business development manager for Holland America. He's also our business development manager for Seabourn Cruises as well. So thank you all for joining us. I know on this crazy February, crazy weather night. I believe we're over halfway now through winter, so hang in there. We can do it. But yeah, so Aaron's going to talk to us all Holland America tonight, and I'm hoping he talks about their grand voyages and their legendary voyages. Super cool. I've actually done one myself. And also, he's probably going to touch on some Alaska, which Holland America is famous for. So, but instead of taking all of his fun stuff and surprises away, I'm going to hand it over to Aaron. So, Aaron, welcome.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thrilled to be here, and thank you for taking some time out of your evening to join me. So, I am the business development manager for America, based in London, Ontario, but I support all of our agency partners from Manitoba to the Maritimes. So, like I said, I'm thrilled to be here tonight to introduce you or reintroduce you to the amazing Holland America brand. So I'm going to start off by just playing a short video that really does a great job in just showing what sets Holland America apart from a lot of other of the premium cruise lines. So take a look at this. So hopefully what you noticed there was a couple of things. One, of course, the lively music. Live music is something that Holland America really does celebrate on. And the fact that it was a bit vibrant. So Holland America, even though we are 150 years old, we are really the cruise line that is perfect for everyone, regardless of your age, regardless if you have cruised before or you're a first-time cruiser. Holland America really can be a perfect brand for you. We really are the brand that provides guests really the 5 buckets that I'm showcasing here. So the guests that are explorers, guests that are really looking for those unique itineraries anywhere in the world. And Holland America does sail to all 7 continents. Of course, the guests that love food, that culinary experience on board Holland America really is elevated, whether it's the grab and go food by the pool, the buffet food at our Lido deck, or our specialty dining. It really is elevated across the board. And the music, of course, I talked about that already. Something that I love and I really enjoy on board. The BB King Lounge for the live jazz and blues. This is where you're going to find me in the evening, relaxing with a cocktail, just really taking in the amazing live music. It's my favorite spot. And of course, the renowned service. This is something that we're incredibly proud of because what we do is we pay homage to our Dutch heritage, and we really do provide the very best balance of not only the crew experience, but also the guest experience on board. And we believe passionately that empowered employees make for happy guests. And so we do really strive in making sure that all of our crew members on board are empowered to provide the best service possible for all of you while you're cruising. And of course, the spacious ships. We, with Holland America, would have what the industry would call kind of medium-sized ships. So our largest ship will be our Pinnacle class ship, around 2,600 passengers, which in the grand scheme of those mega ships out there right now would be considered small to some people, but we really do fit into that medium category of that premium market of cruise line. And then our smallest ships, our R class, is going to be roughly around 1,400 passengers. What that allows us to do is really maintain a high level of what we call in the industry a guest to crew ratio. And for any of you that are watching this that are first time cruisers, that's really important to watch for. You want to make sure you're choosing a cruise line that is going to have the crew on board to really take care of all of your needs and hopefully anticipate anything before you even have to ask for it. Now, when you're on board any of our ships, of course, we want to make sure that it feels like a second home to you. So you're going to be able to come on board, unpack once, take advantage of the generous storage spaces, and really have peace of mind in your secure room that we're going to take care of everything for you. You can unpack, sit back, relax, and really enjoy that experience. And of course, when you want to leave your cabin and head out and enjoy the amazing amenities on board, we're going to take care of you there as well. From our onboard experts to the amazing dining options, the iconic parties that we have. If you're ever booking your Holland America cruise, I encourage you to bring some orange on board for our orange party. This, again, is that little nod to our Dutch heritage. It is one of our most iconic parties. It's a ton of fun, for sure. And then, of course, the amazing lineup of our onboard entertainment. Now, maybe you want to go a little bit beyond the theater. You're thinking you might be a little bit more active. We've got you covered here as well. I did speak about the music already. And what we do is we offer what we call the music walk. This is where we collect all of our music venues on board our ships. The BB King Lounge for your jazz and blues. The Rolling Stone Lounge for your contemporary and classic rock and roll. Billboard on board, or the dueling pianos. This is really where you're going to get that contemporary pop music. And Third Avenue West, this is a new music venue for us that really is going to focus on string instruments and guitars and just has a really great vibe. So something you're going to want to look for sure. Now, anyone watching this that is a pickleball player, we've got you covered as well. So Holland America is a proud partner of the American Pickleball Association, and we can actually offer 2 pickleball courts on all of our cruise ships. One is a dedicated regulation pickleball court. The other one is a bit of a flex court, so you could use it to play basketball, tennis, whatever you're looking for outside in that amazing upper deck. And of course, we have all kinds of other fun activities on board, whether it's flower arranging, painting, origami, shuffleboard, the amazing libraries on board, Tai Chi. There really is endless options for you to take advantage of all of the fun activities on board. Now, when I think of activities, I'm going to ask a question here. I know, this is live, but what do you think the number one activity on board any cruise line is? Or if there's any guesses out there? You're probably thinking, and rightfully so, that it would be dining. It is the number one experience on board any cruise line by a mile, that's for sure. And like I said earlier, Holland America really does that culinary experience a little bit differently. Everything is just a little bit elevated. And that's because our cuisine really goes beyond the plate. We focus on providing the freshest food experience possible and really making sure that we are paying respect to the areas that we're cruising through as we're moving through the world. So you're going to see those unique flavors from northern sea cod to Sydney rock oysters and kind of everything in between. We really do focus on providing the freshest fish possible, and we've done that by introducing a family program. This is what we call our fresh fish program. What that means is that regardless of where you're sailing in the world, the fish that you're going to get on board any Holland America ship is going to be fresh, local, and ethically sourced. We've committed to providing 48 hours from hook to plate for all of our seafood on board. It's something we've done in Alaska for a long time, but we've actually rolled it out last year, to all of our entire fleet. And we've actually just partnered with Chef Morimoto from Top Chef as our fresh fish ambassador. So let's take a quick listen to Chef Morimoto talking about this amazing program.
At Holland America Line, our cuisine goes beyond the plate. That's why we're introducing our new, first of its kind, global fresh fish program, offering you more than 80 varieties of fresh fish sourced locally from across our global network. Because we care about what's on your plate, who we partner with is important.
The fresh fish program is very kakiseki. I'm Chef Morimoto, fresh fish ambassador for Holland America Line. Excited we're working with Holland America because we have the same standard as the flavor, the ingredients, especially fish. I will bring my innovative flair to a pop-up restaurant on all set on Holland America. Let us prepare something for you.
So when you're on board our ships, you're going to want to look for that Morimoto standalone restaurant or pop-up restaurant and get up and experience the amazing fresh seafood. So like you heard earlier, of course, I can't talk about Holland America without talking about Alaska. Alaska is something that Holland America really does better than anyone else, and we've been doing it longer than anyone else. We're the number one cruise line up there for the glacier experience and wildlife tours. Because we have been going to Alaska longer than anyone else, we've actually been going there since before it was a state. We can offer a really unique experience in Alaska. And what I love is the difference between really offering that cruise experience and what we call the cruise tour experience. So for any of you that are thinking about Alaska or have thought about it, or maybe have come to the realization, you know what, I do want to get up there. Everyone raves about how amazing it is. Now is definitely the time to be thinking about Alaska. I know there's a lot happening in the world right now that might make you hesitate, but what I can say confidently is that there's no better time to be booking a cruise, and especially to Alaska. What you'll have the luxury of doing is paying for most, if not all, of your cruise experience in Canadian dollars before you even depart. So when you're in the state of Alaska, you're really going to have a minimal expense on land. And that might make it a bit easier for people if thinking about trying to budget out an amazing cruise experience like this. So like I said, we can offer two different types of experiences, the cruise and the cruise tour. Now, when you're thinking about Alaska, it is a bit of a nuanced destination. So you want to ask yourself a couple of questions. One, when can I go to Alaska? When do you have the most amount of time to go to Alaska is really what you should be asking. Because if you have a week, a cruise is a really great option. But if you have 2 weeks or more, the cruise tour is absolutely the way to go. I've been on well over 100 cruises in my lifetime, and I can tell you without a doubt, the Alaska cruise tour is by far my favorite experience. It really does take you past the borders or the kind of coastline of Alaska and really into the heart of Alaska in a really unique way. So when you're thinking about Alaska Cruise with Holland America, of course, we've got our cruise anywhere from 7 to 28 days. And that's going to be all of your sea experience with your land excursions. The cruise tour, this is really, like I said, getting you past the coastline, 9 to 18 days. This is a combination of an ocean cruise and a land tour, and we're going to take care of everything for you. The plane, the train, the bus, the accommodations, the cruise. We're going to have a tour director with you the whole time to take care of everything for you. It really is that seamless experience. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each of them for you. Now, that Alaska cruise, like I said, this is a really great way to maybe head up for the first time. If you've only got a week, this is a really great experience. We've been going there since 1947, and we really have a lot of different options for you. You can do the outside passage, inside passage, northbound, southbound, round trip. You've got a lot of options for you. How I really think about the big difference is outbound. So the outside passage, you're probably more likely to see marine life because you're going to be out into the ocean, which can be a great option for people. Round trip is really great, either from Seattle or Vancouver, short flight, usually from wherever you're coming in North America. Northbound or southbound, again, that's really just purely preference. But that inside passage is really a great option for any of you that are first-time cruisers. The reason that is because you're going to see land on both sides for most of the cruise. And because it is such a protected area for marine life, the cruise ship is going to go a little bit slower than most other itineraries. So you're going to really be able to just relax, going through calm waters, being able to see land for most of that cruise. It really is a great option. And it really is quite stunning, that inside passage. So you're going to want to make a note of that for yourself. Now, of course, if you've got more time and you're thinking you want to spend it all at sea, we've got some really great round trip, 14-day inside or outside passage, or both, depending on the itinerary that you choose. And of course, the amazing travel advisors here will be able to help you with any questions you have about any of the cruises that I'm speaking about. Now, the one that I would recommend, of course, is that Alaska cruise tour. Like I said, this is that combination of cruise with the land experience combined. we're going to take care of everything for you. The luxury rail, we're going to take care of some excursions for you. If you choose the right itinerary, of course, we're going to even get you into the Yukon. And we're the only cruise line that'll get you into the Yukon as part of that cruise tour, which makes it really special. Now, when you're in the heart of Denali National Park, which is often one of the main reasons people are going, this is a Holland America owned and operated lodge that you'll be staying at. This is really at the entrance to Denali National Park, and this is going to be your main stopping point and where you're going to stay anywhere from 1 to 3 days, depending on which itinerary you pick. And when you're in the lodge, of course, we're going to take care of everything for you. We're going to have you in the amazing Denali suites. We're going to have you with access to Denali Square, the amazing restaurants, the amphitheater for live music, local artisans. It really is a total vibe in this area. You're going to sit around in Muskoka chairs with fire pits, hot chocolate s'mores, maybe a glass of Cabernet if you like, and then you're going to listen to people talk about the amazing stories and experiences they've had on their cruise tour as they've been navigating the beautiful state of Alaska. So it really is the heart of this lodge. Now, how are you going to get there? Of course, no problem. We got you covered. The luxury rail, again, owned and operated by Holland America. The reason I'm calling this out is because it really is going to feel like an extension of the ship. And you can expect the same level of service and attention to detail that you would expect on board any of our ships. This is that beautiful glass dome train. It's going to give you that panoramic experience, be able to get really the entire view of where you're going through. You're going to have the open air platforms as well, so you can actually step outside, get those amazing photographs, take in the fresh air. The train will slow down and even stop in some points for you to be able to get some really amazing photos. This is such a fabulous way to be able to get, again, past the coastline and really experience the interior of Alaska. On board, of course, you're going to have dining, bars, shopping, washrooms, Wi-Fi, everything taken care of for you. Now, once you get to Denali, we're going to get you into Denali National Park. This is where you're going to have access to one of our excursions that will be included on all of the cruise tours that you choose. This is the Tundra Wilderness Tour. This is going to be included on all the 2 and 3 night stays at Denali Lodge. And what we're going to do is we're going to get you right into the heart of Denali National Park. It's the only time on our tour that you won't be with one of our tour directors. You're actually going to be with a park ranger that's going to take you right into the heart of Denali National Park. Access to the Big Five, access to Mount Denali. It really is something special and is often a highlight of any experience for any of our guests. Now, if you choose an Alaska cruise tour that it takes you into the Yukon, you are going to have the pleasure of going to Dawson City, Yukon. For any of you that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. This is one of the most charming Canadian cities that I've ever been to. It is stuck in the past for sure. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that really tells the story of the gold rush from a Canadian perspective. It's where the gold rush really started, and it is really just steeped in Canadian history. It is charming and quirky and weird and fun, and absolutely was the highlight of my experience when we went up there. When you're in Dawson City, we're also going to give you a complimentary excursion, and that's the Klondike Gold Tour. This is going to be where you're going to be able to really get the history of what that gold rush looked like. You'll actually be able to pan for gold for yourself and hopefully be able to come home with a little something special for you. But this absolutely will be a highlight for you on that experience. It really was one of my favorite times. Now, the Alaska Cruise Tour that I would recommend, of course, this is the 18 Denali and Yukon. This will include 3 nights in the Yukon, 3 nights in Denali National Park, access to Glacier Bay, and the fjords as well. This really is going to cover everything for you. It's round trip from Vancouver, and we're going to take care of everything. Plane, train, bus, accommodation, Wi-Fi, all of it. The tour director will be giving you your room keys. You're stepping off the coach, taking care of the bags for you. Everything will be taken care of. The only thing you'll need to plan in advance will be your food on the land portion, your meal plan. But of course, the amazing travel advisors here will be able to help you sort that out for you. So no problem there. Now, I did ask when would you go to Alaska? Well, it does matter. So Think about the reason you're going, what is going to really take your whole experience to the next level, and make sure you're choosing the right month to match what it is that you're looking for. If you want the driest weather, it's really going to be May, June, July. If you're looking for the northern lights, you really got to try to go as late as possible, September, October, to be able to have that experience. Again, the travel advisor team here will be able to help you really kind of pinpoint exactly when you should be there to maximize that experience. Now, I talked a lot about Alaska, of course. Let's jet on over to the other side of Canada. Canada, New England, this is another really popular and one of my favorite cruise tours. People choose Canada, New England for a lot of the same reasons that they choose Alaska. It's access to the wildlife, the amazing shore excursions, those perfectly sized ships, the amazing seafood experience. And we're going to have all of that covered for you in the Canada, New England. Now, you'll do this on board the Volendam, which, if you remember from one of the first slides, this is our smallest ship, but it is packed with everything you're going to need. The pickleball courts, the pools, the hot tub, the amazing dining, the amazing entertainment venue, all of it's covered for you. This ship actually does our world and grand voyages. So you can rest comfortably knowing that if I'm asking people to spend 133 days on the Volendam, that it's going to have everything you're going to need to take care of that Canada, New England cruise for you. It is also perfectly sized to be able to come under the bridge in Montreal and be able to sail out into the Canada, New England experience. So just imagine being in old Montreal, coming on board the Volendam, and being able to sail away at 7 o'clock when the tide is nice and low. You'll just squeak under the bridge and then head on out down the St. Lawrence and into really one of the best parts of Canada. I'm showing two itineraries here that I just think are really unique. Round trip out of Boston, Canada, New England, or round trip out of Montreal. The reason I'm including these is because it includes St. Pierre, which, for those that don't know, it's a little French territory that will require you to bring your passport with you because you'll be entering France for that experience, which I think is a really cool thing to be able to say you're doing on a Canada, New England cruise. Now, of course, my recommendation would be the amazing round trip from Boston, 25-day, Canada, New England, Greenland, and Iceland. This is all, again, on the Volendam. 25 days, really, again, seeing some of the best parts of Canada, circumnavigating Iceland, which is another absolutely stunning destination. And this here would be really a perfect way to be able to experience the East Coast of Canada. Now, I know I've talked about Alaska and Canada, New England, and I recognize some of us are in below zero temperatures right now. So we might want to start thinking about something a little bit warmer. I get it. So let's head on down to the Caribbean. Again, very similar reasons why people are going to want to experience the Caribbean with Holland America. This perfectly sized ship, amazing itineraries, of course, access to our private island, Half Moon Cay. So all of our Caribbean itineraries will include a stop in Half Moon Cay. So you'll have access to that private beach experience. And it really is a little slice of heaven. So it's not going to feel like you have a million things to do. You can really just sit back in a lap on the largest private island in the Bahamas. It really is an amazing experience. Now, some itineraries that I would highly recommend, the 9-day Southern Caribbean ABC Islands. This is perfect for a first-time cruiser, similar to Alaska. You're going to have opportunity here to have some sea days with some of the most amazing ports in the Caribbean. So you'll be able to enjoy the ship, but also be able to head ashore for that amazing land experience. Another great option, the 12-day Panama Canal in Costa Rica, Greater Antilles. This is round trip out of Fort Lauderdale. Really amazing ports here. You're just going to touch the Panama Canal. It'll be a teaser. You're absolutely going to want to go back and head all the way through. But it's going to take you again to Half Moon Cay, Curacao, which is a gorgeous Dutch colony, Cartagena, Colombia, which is one of my favorite destinations in the Caribbean. It's really not to be missed. Now, maybe we're thinking, okay, let's start making plans for the holidays. I've had enough of winter. I know I'm going to want to get away. I'm going to want someone else to cook for me. This is another one that I highly recommend. 14-day round trip again out of Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to have you away over the holidays. We're going to take care of everything for you. You just need to Skype home maybe on the 24th or 25th to say hi to some family. And you'll be able to really enjoy the warm weather on this holiday experience. Now, let's continue across the pond over to Europe. Again, we have some really amazing itineraries here, and we can offer a really unique experience in Europe for Holland America. What we can offer is a couple of different things that you're going to want to just think about, especially as a first-time cruiser. So things like the long port stays. If you haven't been to Europe before, what you need to know is that often the cruise terminal is nowhere near the city that you're actually going to see. So when you're looking at the cruise line to choose to get you to Europe, you want to make sure that you've got that long port day. You can make sure you can get in and see the city that you went there to really see and experience. We're going to be able to do that for you. Again, those perfectly sized ships are going to get into those ports of calls that some other cruise lines are not able to do. And we can give you a couple of different options. Northern Europe, this is so popular right now. The fjords, Northern Europe, the northern, like Scotland, as well as Iceland and Greenland, absolutely popular right now. The Med is always the favorite. You can head there really from May to October for some really amazing experiences in the Mediterranean. And then, of course, the transatlantic. Look, we all have really busy lives. I love the idea of just being able to come on board the ship, sit back and relax, multiple sea days. I can just really enjoy the spa. I can read, just relax, kind of decompress before getting into Europe. So whether you do that one way or round trip, it's a fabulous experience. Now, some itineraries I'd recommend for Europe. 11-day Mediterranean medley. This is a great one. Round trip out of Barcelona. You're actually going to be able to head to North Africa for an experience and then be able to hit some of the other most popular destinations through the Med. Now, if you're looking for something maybe a bit more adventurous, this is one that is on my list to do for sure. 28-day round trip out of Rotterdam. You're going to do the fjords. You're going to do Iceland, Greenland. The coolest thing that I think here is you're actually crossing the Arctic Circle 3 times on this departure. I think that's something that's some really cool kind of bragging rights when you're talking to all of your friends. This is an absolutely stunner of a destination. The other thing worth noting on this one here is you've got that overnight in Reykjavik, which is going to, again, really maximize that experience ashore for you to just get the most out of that Iceland experience. Now, a couple of other destinations are notable and worth talking about. Hawaii and the Panama Canal. I mentioned the Panama Canal earlier. The engineering of the Panama Canal really is something that you should experience. The Fort Lauderdale to San Diego journey is the one that's going to get you right through the canal, so you can have that full experience. And from a small ship, not so small ship, you're just going to really have such an amazing vantage point of going through the Panama Canal and having that really once in a lifetime experience. There's a lot of different options, a lot of different routes, depending on whether you want to start in Vancouver or San Diego or Fort Lauderdale, whatever the case is. We've got lots of options for you. So again, because a lot of the ports will vary, this is something you'd want to sit down with one of your travel advisors and have a conversation around which route would make the most sense for you. Now, of course, Hawaii, this is always a popular voyage for our cruise guests. We can get you there in a couple of different ways. From San Diego, from Seattle, round trip often. And what this allows you to do is to see multiple islands in one experience. It can be costly and timely to go over and fly to each of the islands. We're going to take care of all of that for you. We're going to get you around on the ship. And then you can really choose which island appeals to you the most. And then you can come back and spend some time there. It's a really great way to experience the beautiful islands of Hawaii. Now, of course, I can't talk about Holland America without mentioning, again, something that really sets us apart, and this is our legendary voyages. I've shown you a couple of those itineraries already, but what that really means is that these are our voyages that are greater than 25 days. And when we talk about these voyages, these are those iconic, once-in-a-lifetime kind of dream trips that you might have. Often our guests do them more than once, but for some of us, it might be a once-in-a-lifetime journey. The really unique thing about the legendary voyages is that they are one-way or round trip. Very rarely, if ever, will repeat a port. The reason I call that out is because when you're looking at those longer voyages, a lot of cruise lines will end up just building them back to back. And what that means is that you're doing a 7-day voyage and you're coming back maybe to Fort Lauderdale every 7 days or 10 days to do a turn. What that ends up meaning is there's a lot of repeated ports. So we try to avoid that for you. And I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites here. This would be the Fire and Ice experience. We're going to get you from Seattle, the very best of Hawaii, all the way around to Dutch Harbor, which is a really unique experience. Sailing down to Hawaii, hitting the islands there, and then coming back to Seattle. Just a really amazing experience, getting the best of both, right? The amazing glacier experience of Alaska, and then the volcano and beach experience of Hawaii. Another way to take Alaska to the next level, this is a round trip out of Seattle. This is part of our new solstice experience. So what you're going to do is you're going to head all the way up to Alaska, basically hitting every port there is, all the way up to Nome, Alaska, and then again crossing the Arctic Circle for the solstice in June. So this is a really once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So something, again, for the people that are thinking about Alaska, you've got the time. This is definitely the cruise for you. Another great option, Voyage of the Viking, round trip out of Boston. Again, we're covering Canada, New England, Greenland, and then we're heading over to the UK and Norway there as well before hitting Rotterdam. This is a really fabulous itinerary. Another great one I'm going to show you here. This is out of Seattle, one way. We're going to get you to, this is going to start in Sydney and get you to Seattle. So think about this for a moment. One long flight. We know Australia can be tricky to get to. One long flight down to Sydney. Maybe you're going to give yourself a week or so down there to really experience Australia by land. Then you're going to hop on board our ship, the Nordam, and we're going to take you from Australia, New Zealand, through the South Pacific, up to Hawaii, and then back to Seattle for that short flight home. This is a really great way to experience some of the best parts of the world without having to do all of those long flights. Now, maybe you're saying to yourself, hey, Aaron, you know what? 36 days, it's not enough, right? I want more. No problem. We've got you covered. This is our grand voyage for 2026. The reason I'm not talking about 2025 is because they've already left. They're about a month in to their grand voyage right now. This is the voyage that's going to get you around the world. So just imagine 7 continents, 25 countries, 48 ports, 15 extended stays. I mean, this is a dream trip. The coolest thing of this that I think that is often missed is that there's no international flights really to speak of. It all leaves out of Fort Lauderdale. That's a short flight down, and then you're going to be able to experience the world in one voyage. Really something special. Now, something brand new for us this year is our Grand Australia and New Zealand. This is round trip out of San Diego. Again, Hawaii, the South Pacific, circumnavigating New Zealand and Australia. This really is the stuff that dreams are made of. You're going to see some of the most beautiful ports in the world and then be able to come back to San Diego for that short flight home. This, again, is going to get you to just 2 continents, but 10 countries, 44 ports, and 10 extended stays. And the reason I call those out is because those extended stays really are all about maximizing that experience for you. We want you to be able to go ashore, really get the most out of your trip as possible, to just really make it something super memorable. Now, of course, this is for 2026. So we do have an early booking bonus version that is available through your travel advisor team here. So I would encourage you to reach out to them. And this would be for any of the grand voyages that I spoke to. So the last 2 voyages there. We're going to give you some amenities if you're booking before June of 2025. Things like complimentary Wi-Fi, the air credit. So remember, you're only flying in and out of Fort Lauderdale. So that air credit really is going to cover most, if not all, of that flight. Transfers, plus so much more. We really got you covered on this experience to make it amazing as possible. So like I said earlier, there is no time that I know of that's been better to be booking a cruise. Like I said earlier, you can pay for most of it, if not all of it, in Canadian dollars. We've got you covered for most, if not all of your expenses while traveling outside of your spending money or maybe some of the unique excursions you pick along the way. But again, your team here can take care of most, if not all of it for you in advance to really make it as seamless as possible for you. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking time to listen to me talk about Holland America. Hopefully I've inspired you, if you're a first-time cruiser, to think of Holland America, think about some of the destinations that I've spoken to. If you are seasoned cruisers, hopefully you would feel inspired to come and join Holland America for that amazing onboard experience that we can offer. So thank you so much, and I really do appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much, Aaron. That was fantastic. And honestly, I've been on Holland America numerous times. Great service. Great crew, great entertainment. Really love the music. Top notch, definitely for the music. I don't think I've seen it better anywhere else. And love the Grand Voyages. I know so many people that are just not comfortable with those long flights or just don't want to do those long flights. Like for someone like me who doesn't like to fly in economy, it really adds up to try and get some anywhere in the world. And, so you're taking that down to Fort Lauderdale and you've got all that extra budget that you can put into this wonderful, wonderful vacation. So, all right. Do we have any questions? Linda, are you doing questions or am I?
Sorry, I can do those as long as my internet doesn't tank out on me. It isn't very good tonight, but we do have a question here.
So that's a great question. We are currently not building any new ships. I talked in the beginning about Holland America. What we're really doing, we've been in the cruise industry a little over 150 years, and we've had some significant success over the last few years, really growing the brand, really exposing Holland America, new people to Holland America. But what we've also prioritized is really doubling down on respecting our heritage. So we're reintroducing some things that we've done in Holland America before. We're really spending time to revitalize some of our older ships to make them a bit newer, a bit more comfortable, a bit more updated. So we're revitalizing what we have, but we're not currently building any new ships.
Okay. Thank you for that. I know John is a big Holland America fan. Now we've got Doug. He's asking about tier matching.
Yeah, that's another great question. It comes up a lot. We don't offer tier matching within the Carnival Corporation. So Holland America is part of Carnival Corporation. So Carnival, Princess, Holland, Seabourn, and Cunard. We don't offer tier matching within there. We find, interestingly enough, that among the brands, there isn't really a lot of crossover. People often are loyal to their brand. However, if you are currently cruising on another cruise line outside of the Carnival Corporation, and maybe you've never experienced Holland America, or you want to try it again, we don't do peer matching. But what I would encourage you to do is work with the amazing travel advisor team that you've got here, and they can work with me to help figure out what we need to do to make this an amazing experience for you. So that would be that kind of one-off custom approach that you'd have, just simply because we have such an amazing relationship.
Okay. All right. Next question. Marilyn is asking if Holland America has indoor adult pools.
Yes. So great question. So we don't have really an adults-only section to speak of. However, Holland America traditionally tends to be more adult-focused, just meaning there'd be less children on board, especially outside of the summer months. We don't have either. We also don't have just indoor or outdoor pools. On most of our ships, we'll have, and you can see it a little bit in the photo here, in the middle of the ship, you'll see a bit of a kind of a gap area that looks gray there. That will be a retractable roof that we have that's going to come back and forth on and off the pool. So weather permitting, it'll be open. Weather permitting, it's going to be closed, just to make sure that it, again, is that really great experience. Also, on some of our ships, we might have a pool area on the bow. We might have different small hot tub areas or smaller pool areas. It really just depends, but we're going to have lots of access for you and lots of opportunity for you to maybe have that little bit more of adult-only experience.
Okay, I have no more questions in the chat. Do any of our agents want to add anything?
Well, I just say that I was on a Holland in December, and we absolutely loved it. We were on the New Staten Dam down to the Caribbean, and you'll be hard pressed to find a better beach than Half Moon Cay. Really, that was incredible. We're going to be back there for sure.
Yeah, there's something special about that island. Just the fact that it's a bit underdeveloped compared to some of the other lines, that it's so large, you really do feel like you're on a deserted island. because you can often find a little pocket just for yourself, which is really lovely.
And the music, like you and Teena were saying, is incredible. We were there every night. Down below there, watching the BB Kings and the dueling pianos, and we're gonna be back.
It really is a great time, for sure. Okay, well, I'm gonna, I guess, close off this webinar since I think Linda is having technical difficulties. I would implore all of you. Oh, are you there? Thought I heard something. I would implore all of you to come and follow us on our Facebook group, Cruise Deals for Canadians, and visit our website, which is www.vacationsforcanadians.com, and find out all about our Supplier of the Month with Holland America. We're going to have some great cruise offerings. We're going to share some fantastic exclusive rates that we've secured with you. And some of these, sorry, I can hear somebody talking in the background here. And some of these itineraries are jaw-dropping. You're not going to believe it. You'll be sold when you see some of these itineraries. So, but we are going to be sharing with you a lot of great things. We're going to have some prize giveaways. Hold on, someone's texting me, and it's okay. Yeah, Linda, she's having trouble. Anyways, unless we have another question pop in, I think we are done. And so, Erin, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. And we look forward to having a great Holland America month with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.